coming your way from the Crypto.com arena, formerly known as the Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. Our main event, the former unified heavyweight champion of the world, Andy the Destroyer Ruiz Jr. He'll take on the hard-hitting Cuban contender, Luis King Kong Ortiz. That is a WBC heavyweight title eliminator that'll come your way on Sunday, September 4th, as we conclude the summer with the bang, a special Sunday night edition of PBC on Fox Sports pay-per-view. Today, we're going to be hearing from the fighters that are going to be involved in this sensational undercard as it comes your way at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time. Just to give you a little bit of an idea of who you're going to hear from, you're going to be hearing from the top lightweight contender, Cruz, most notably known for having an absolute battle against Gervonta Tank Davis inside that very building of Crypto.com arena last December. And he's going to match up against exciting contender in Eduardo Ramirez, a 12-round WBC lightweight title eliminator. That in our co-main event. Plus, we're going to hear from the 3-division world champion making his return to the ring for the first time in 4.5 years. Abner, the 2004 Mexican Olympian, is back inside the ring as he'll put his skills to the test against Miguel Flores. And to begin the call, in a few moments, we're going to hear from unbeaten rising lightweight contender Jezreel Valenzuela as he will go head-to-head against the former world champion Jezreel Corrales, that one in a lightweight matchup to begin the pay-per-view. It's all being brought to you by TGB Promotions. Tickets are on sale right now at AXS.com, and they are going quickly. Now, what I'm excited about is this is an absolute loaded undercard aside from the main event. I want to bring on to the podium, so to speak, the virtual podium, a man who has a record of 26 wins opposite 4 defeats, 10 wins coming by way of knockout, former super featherweight champion of the world. He has won 3 straight victories since making the jump up here to 135 in 2021, and actually ranked number 2 in the world by the WBA. Most notably, he is a native of San Miguelito, Panama. He won his world title back in 2016. He's a road warrior because he headed to the Orient, to Japan, and he knocked out Takashi Uchiyama before winning a decision in his rematch. No doubt a very exciting fighter, a veteran who is looking to make yet another statement, this one at 135. Please welcome from Panama, Jezreel Corrales. Jezreel.
Y bueno, ante todo, le doy la gracia, ¿no? La gracia a Dios primeramente, de que me tiene con vida y salud. Estamos bien concentrados, bien agradecidos por esta oportunidad que se nos está presentando, de presentarnos nuevamente en Estados Unidos, y estamos con bastante ánimo y con mente positiva.
Well, thank you everyone for having me. I'm really excited to be here. I'm fortunately in good health, thank God, and excited to have this opportunity to fight on a great card. I'm having a great training camp, and I'm ready for the challenge coming up.
All right, that's Jezreel Corrales. Greatly appreciate our outstanding translator, Martin Bottom, for helping to give us the translations throughout the entire virtual press conference. Let's talk with his opponent. His record, 12 wins, opposite no defeats, 8 wins coming by way of knockout. He's a stablemate of the Benavides brothers, David Benavides and Jose Benavides Jr. He is trained under the guidance of Jose Benavides Sr. He is a native of Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico. This young man is an exciting fighter. Obviously looked very impressive in his victory over Yuriokis Gamboa back in April at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. He's certainly looking to make some waves here at 135 pounds. Anytime this young fighter is inside the ring, he is all action and looks to close the show in quick and abrupt fashion. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jose Rayo Valenzuela. Jose.
Very excited to be back, especially on such a big card, another big card, Andy Ruiz versus Ortiz in LA at the Crypto.com arena against such a tough opponent, and I'm very excited just to be back and put on another great show.
All right, I'm going to start off asking the fighters a couple of questions, then we're going to open up to the media for questions. When we go ahead and open it up to the media, make sure to raise your hand, and then Kenneth Bohari we'll go ahead and call upon you. But I want to start off with you, Jose. This is your second straight fight here on pay-per-view. Crypto.com Arena, you're the pay-per-view opener. You know, there is a lot on the line for you in this fight, taking on the former world champion in Jezreel Corrales. And, you know, if you can go ahead and turn your camera the opposite way, that we could see you. There we go. The other way. And I'm sure Ryan will be able to help us out. But let me ask you the question anyway. Jose, tell us about your growth inside the ring, knocking out Gambo in the first round. That's not an easy task. The crowd went crazy at AT&T Stadium. But in terms of your development and your growth as a fighter, how are you feeling just being 23 years of age?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling super excited. I always knew I would be here. So I'm just taking it step by step. You know, I feel even better that I'm fighting a number 2 ranked fighter, a great fighter, and with a lot of heart and experience.
Do you think that if you're successful on Sunday, September 4th, that this will catapult you to being a top 5 lightweight contender? You mentioned the fact that you're taking on a guy who's ranked number 2 in the world, but right now you are a budding contender. But do you think that this fight solidifies your status as being a legit top 5 contender at 135?
Definitely. I think it'll open doors and give me more leverage to ask for these big fights, and people can take me more seriously and look over at my way and see me as a top 5 contender.
Let's talk with Jezreel Corrales from Panama. Jezreel, you are 31 years of age. You've won 3 straight. You have captured a world title in a lighter weight class, but how good do you feel here at 135?
Do you want me to translate?
Martin, do we have you?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yes. Bueno, Jezreel, tus antecedentes te demarcan de que sos un ex campeón mundial en una división distinta y que además tenés las credenciales como para salir al ring como favorito. Pero, ¿cómo te sentís en esta nueva división de las 135 libras?
Bueno, en esta división me siento cómodo, me siento bien, me siento tranquilo en este peso, contento de estar en una división en la que hay bastante boxeadores competitivos. Estamos haciendo el trabajo con el favor de Dios. Estamos trabajando fuerte para seguir el objetivo, que es coronarnos campeón nuevamente en esta división, en la 135, y nada, estamos haciendo trabajo para salir adelante.
I feel comfortable at 135. This is a very competitive division, and I'm glad to be able to be a part of it because we are going to have many great challenges up ahead. Like I said before, training has been great. I feel ready. I'm in shape, and I'm willing and able to face this fight and any other fights that come up at this division to be successful in.
Can you tell me, do you feel like your experience, you've been to Japan, having won a world title on the road, that's not an easy task, but do you think your vast experience is going to play a significant difference in the outcome of the fight?
Bueno, sos un boxeador experimentado, que fuiste a Japón, ganaste algo que no es fácil, volviste, tenés, como dijimos antes, las credenciales de ganador. ¿Sentís que tu experiencia va a ser un factor clave en esta pelea?
Bueno, pienso que para mi concepto, siento que cada pelea es una pelea diferente, es una pelea nueva que uno va a tener. Ya lo que se hizo en el pasado quedó en el pasado, ahora estamos en el presente y el presente es lo que importa. Así que pienso que a base de mi experiencia y todo mi boxeo que tengo, siento que puedo salir ganador en esta pelea.
With my experience and the amount of fights that I've had, I do believe that I can be the winner in this fight. However, each fight is different. The past is the past. I can only focus on the present, and I can't just rely on what happened before in order to think of what's going to happen ahead.
Now, for you, Jose, you obviously have the likes of Cruz. He's in an eliminator fight at 135. He's taken on Eduardo Ramirez, but are you hoping that your performance against Jezreel Corrales sort of goes ahead and, leapfrogs you or puts you in line like him because Isaac Cruz has competed for a world title against Gervonta Davis. Do you think not only is it satisfactory enough for you to win the fight, but you have to win in impressive fashion?
Definitely. I don't think I can just win a close fight. I win an impression fashion or potentially knock him out. And I'm very confident that I can do that. I've seen some of his film, and I watched. Actually got a chance to spar Machado, one of the guys, to beat him and knock him out when he was world champion. And I know how I did against him. And so I'm very confident that I can do so. And I can't wait for September 4th.
All right. We're going to turn it over to the media. If you have questions for Jose Valenzuela or Jezreel Corrales, the former world champion from Panama, I'm going to turn it over to Kenneth Buhari. If you have questions, make sure to raise your hand. And then when we call upon you, unmute yourself. Kenneth, it's all you.
Thanks, Ray. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question for Jose or Jezreel Corrales, be sure to click that raise the hand icon on your Zoom screen. We're going to go ahead and take our first question from Keith Eidig. Keith?
You're on mute, Keith.
Thanks, Kenneth. My first question is for Jose. Jose, I know Ray just asked you about, maybe outperforming Isaac Cruz. What are your thoughts on fighting Isaac Cruz? Because I think people would be very interested if you two guys are matched somewhere down the line.
I think that's a great fight. If you've been following me on my career, I've been asking for Isaac Cruz before he fought Tank. And if after I beat Corrales, hopefully they can make that fight happen. I know me and my team are down to do it. So I'm hoping his team and himself are down to do it.
And what did you think? Everyone seems to think that he gave Gervonta Davis the toughest fight of his career. What did you think of that fight?
He gave him a good fight. But he didn't win. People are praising him like he won and like he's this great fighter. But that's okay. I think that's good for him for his career. But when he comes against me, it'll be a totally different fight.
And Jose, what's the reaction been in terms of enhancing your reputation off of the Vargas win? Vargas is obviously an older fighter, but no one had done that to him throughout his career.
Sorry, can you ask that again?
I said, what has the reaction been in terms of the enhancing of your reputation? Because you blew him out in a way that had never been done to him before.
Well, my reaction, I knew I would win. I was feeling really strong through the whole camp, and I knew once I caught him, I would eventually hurt him. I just didn't believe I would catch him so early in the fight. But it happened, and I'm very happy. I'm very happy with the result, and I hope to do that again September 4th.
How much do you think that maybe enhanced your stock among boxing fans and media and everything by the way you beat him?
I definitely think it skyrocketed a little bit through the roof, but I still got a lot more to prove.
Right. Thank you, Jose. I just have one question from Jezreel. If you can ask him, Martin, how much maybe he feels he might be the most difficult opponent that Jose has fought in his career, even though he just fought Vargas.
If Jose is his most difficult opponent, or if
if Jezreel is the most difficult opponent that Jose will have faced in his career so far.
¿Sentís que vas a ser el? Bueno, sí. Ya le dijiste la pregunta. Okay, go ahead, dale. De que si sentís que José, que vos ser el rival más difícil de la carrera de José hasta ahora.
La pregunta es para Corrales.
Sí, para Corrales, de que si él siente que es el rival más difícil de la carrera de José.
He tenido oponentes un poco más, he tenido oponentes más difíciles que él, con más trayectoria, con más experiencia que él, pero a ningún boxeador yo he menospreciado y siempre que subo al ring siempre subo positivo y confiando en mi preparación, en lo que voy a hacer. Así que si menosprecié a mi oponente, siempre es algo positivo y siempre salgo a dar todo lo mejor de mí. No sé el que piense de mí.
I don't know what he thinks about me, but I'll tell you what I think about him, that I'm not about to underestimate him, no way, because if you overlook an opponent, then you're just asking for trouble. I've had more experienced opponents than he is, with more accolades, if you will. But I am not about to underestimate his capabilities at all.
Thanks, Martin. Thanks, Kenneth. That's it for me.
Thanks, Keith. We'll take our next question from Cesar Seda. Cesar, go ahead.
Yes, I have two questions, one for each guy, but I'm going to start with Rayo Valenzuela. Rayo, how you doing? Cesar Seda, América TV, Decisión Dividida. Hey, Rayo, this is the second ex-world champion that they put in front of you. The company is looking like they trust you. They said they want to test you, right? But the difference on this guy right now, he is southpaw. You haven't fought a southpaw, I guess, in a big while. The last 5 opponents, at least, you have that big win against the Vargas, right? But you think this guy, ex-world champion, I know you said you sparred with Machado, but what brings you to the front of you when you see this guy a southpaw and ex-champion?
I actually the fight before Vargas, I fought a lefty in Minnesota, Austin Dulé, and if you I actually stopped him in the 4th round. I dropped him like 4 or 5 times, and I landed at a super high rate, extremely high rate.
So you're already used to the southpaw situation.
Definitely. Go check the fight out, and it'll answer all your questions. I think at one point I don't even know what I was landing, but he wasn't landing much of it on me. And right. I put a beating on him. I'm good with lefties, and the thing is, my jab will be in his face because he's a lefty, and I'm a lot longer than him. And that's where it's all going to begin. And then I'm gonna close it off to the body and finish up top.
Jezreel, te traen a la mesa a este muchacho joven, un león joven, frente a ti, la promotora. Podríamos decir que llevas todo en contra, pero tú también has vendido tus 2 últimas derrotas, las has vendido caras, vienes de 3 victorias. ¿Qué esperas esa noche en estas grandes luces? Tú has estado antes en esta situación. ¿Qué esperas de este muchacho del Rayo Valenzuela esa noche?
Oh, yo no espero nada. Él tiene que esperar bastante de mí, ya que él es que lo están ascendiendo. Yo soy el que voy hacia allá. Así que yo me estoy preparando fuerte. Voy sin temor y a mi objetivo, que gana.
The question from Cesar was, what do you expect from fighting under the bright lights of Crypto.com Arena, considering that you're coming off 3 straight wins, and that when you did lose, you lost in a very competitive fashion. And Jezreel has said that, I am not intimidated at all by the bright lights. If anyone needs to prove anything, it's Jose, because he's the one that's coming up and rising up to the challenge. I'm gonna do my own thing, and I'm gonna fight just like I always do.
All right, thank you, Cesar. We're gonna move ahead. Next question comes from Ernesto Amador.
Ok, voy a empezar con el Rayo. Rayo, antes que nada, un placer saludarte. Veo que la prensa te pregunta mucho por el Pitbull Cruz, pero yo sé que tú respetas al rival que tienes en camino. No es un error de la prensa preguntarte y pensar en rivales más adelante. Cuando vas a enfrentar a un campeón del mundo, ¿esto te ha llevado a confiarte o respetas al exmonarca mundial, a Corrales?
No, sí, claro. Yo pienso que Corrales merece el respeto de mí y de la prensa, que es un gran peleador y no lo podemos overlook him, y tenemos que tomar esta pelea muy seriamente y no preocuparnos de Pitbull Cruz, de nadie más y solo de Corrales.
The question, espera que traduzco esta. The question was from Ernesto for Jose about whether it's a mistake that the press is asking Jose about Isaac Cruz when he's about to face a world champion. Is it dangerous? And Jose was saying that he's not about to overlook Corrales at all. Like he said he's a world champion and all his focus is on him. That he's not even thinking about Isaac or anybody else. He's just answering the question when he's asked about people or anybody else that might come in the future.
Ahora, Corrales, te saludo con gusto. Ernesto Amador de No Puedes Jugar Boxeo. Lo mismo, siento que la prensa pregunta mucho por los posibles rivales a futuro del Rayo Valenzuela y él te respeta, pero no sé, me da la impresión de que a la prensa se le olvida quién eres, de qué país eres y todo lo que has hecho en el cuadrilátero.
Sí, siento que se están apurando a los hechos. Hay un compromiso al cual hay que cumplir, tanto él como yo. Yo también tengo bastante futuro por delante. Y mi carrera yo no soy un escalón de nadie, si es que lo están pensando así. Así que siento que y le doy el mérito al muchacho también que también viene subiendo, y he visto también toda su pelea, y también estoy estudiando toda su pelea que ha tenido con Justin, con el otro, ¿cómo se llama el que es en México también? Vargas. He visto otras peleas que ha tenido anteriormente, y sé que es un boxeador de cuidado y un boxeador de respeto. Así que la pelea no va a ser fácil, sé que la pelea no va a ser fácil tanto para mí, tanto para él. Ese ya que dice que maten en la cara, tiene que tirarlo, porque somos dos boxeadores zurdos, y ahí se va a tener que ver quién va a ser mejor, porque somos dos boxeadores.
The question from Ernesto was whether, on that vein of Jose being asked about future fights, does Corrales feel like people are forgetting who he is, where he comes from, and the things that he has accomplished? And Corrales said that, I do believe that the press is kind of rushing a little bit, and that they are kind of overlooking and forgetting about who I am and what I have accomplished. Having said that, I also respect Jose a lot. I have seen his past fights against both Duley and Vargas. I know that this is going to be a battle between two southpaws that are going to go for it all, but don't put the cart before the horse, because I'm still here and I can still accomplish a lot of great things inside the ring.
All right. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Ernesto. And we'll turn it back over to Ray.
All right. Thank you very much to Jose Valenzuela, Jezreel Corrales for their time. We're very excited as we are just over a month out until Sunday, September 4th.